As you start listening to these words, take a moment to notice how your mind begins to shift. There's something about language, isn't there? Something that carries the essence of how we experience the world around us. Words can shape how you perceive the flow of time, the movement of thought, and even the way you see yourself. Can you sense that? The magic in words, the power in language. How one small shift can open doors to a new perspective. Imagine, just for a moment, there's a way of thinking that doesn't simply describe what is, but unlocks what can be. Can you already feel that shift in how you approach everything around you? It's almost like you're tuning into something more fluid, more dynamic, more alive. Yes, alive. For you know, life is not static, but it's full of movement, energy and change. And in this change, there's something profound to discover. Just as every new breath you take, every heartbeat, every sensation that flows through you right now. Can you feel the continuous motion that moves through all things? Now there's something very important about that, isn't there? When you think of something like change, what do you notice? Does it feel like a single moment? Or do you begin to see it as a process? Something unfolding over time? Just like you, everything around you can be seen as in motion. And in this motion, there's freedom, there's flexibility, there's potential. What if, just for a moment, you could shift your focus? What if instead of a word like decision, which seemed fixed and final, you embrace the process of deciding? What if deciding was something you could do right now, over and over again, with each new choice you make? It's not a decision made once, it's a living action. Just like every breath you take, every thought you think. Can you feel that? The moment of your thoughts, the process of your decisions. And the same is true for all those other words that feel static, fixed. Information. Doesn't that sound like something just there? Something locked away? But what if instead you could focus on informing? The act of bringing clarity, of sharing understanding, of creating meaning in real time. You might notice how much more alive that feels, because it's not the noun of information, it's the process of informing that brings everything to life. You're engaging, you're creating, you're flowing with the energy of it all. Take a moment and consider the word failure. Oh yes, so often we think of failure as something fixed, something final. What if failure wasn't a static thing at all? What if it was simply the process of failing? Something that can be revisited, transformed, redefined. Because you know, when you see failure as a process, you see you can always change it. You can change how you move, how you act, how you respond. You're never bound by failure, you're fluid. And in that fluidity, you can reshape and reshape again until everything flows in the direction you want it to. Can you feel that now, that freedom? There's power in seeing the world as something constantly in motion. Life itself is always happening right here, right now. And everything that feels like a block or a barrier, it's just part of the process, not something permanent. Because when you allow yourself to focus on the process of moving, of growing, of becoming, it's like you step into a whole new world where anything is possible. It's fascinating, isn't it, to realize every single moment, every action you take is part of a larger ongoing journey. And once you embrace this, once you truly see it, it becomes easier and easier to notice how everything around you is a dynamic process. You might start to hear yourself thinking in new ways, with a more open mind, with a sense of possibility that invites change, that encourages action, that calls for transformation. In fact, there's a part of you that's beginning to realize this is always happening, right now, beneath the surface. You've always had access to this flow, haven't you? Every failure is just a step in the dance of becoming, and you can move through it with ease, without fear of being stuck. Every decision is just a part of the flow, not something that limits you, but something that liberates you to act and to adapt. You see, when you focus on the process instead of the noun, you see the magic of constant change, constant creation. It's the very act of becoming that makes life so incredibly rich, so full of potential, so very exciting. Now imagine yourself using this power every day. Imagine noticing every moment as part of your ongoing process of deciding, informing, becoming. There's no end to this journey, only more and more opportunities to explore, to discover, to create. It's yours to shape, yours to engage. And you're already doing it, aren't you? With each word you discover more, and with each thought you realize how much freedom there is in focusing on the action, the movement, the process. And as you do, you can feel yourself growing, becoming more flexible, more alive, more powerful in your own ability to shape your world. Because in truth, you are the process.